Come and get your love.
Oh, Guardians was so good.
Guardians is so good.
Yeah.
Did you see when it had a raccoon and a tree in it?
I don't remember that.
That fucking title card. Ugh.
I didn't see it, so.
Okay.
I haven't seen it 3 times in a week yet.
You just watched Lucy a bunch of times?
Yeah, I just went and saw Lucy. I was like, it's got to beat it out. It's got to beat it out.
We did run into somebody over the weekend that saw Lucy instead of Guardians. Like, we were in a store, and this guy who was working there was like, hey, can I help you? And I was like, no, I'm just looking around. And he's like, did you see Guardians? I said, because I was looking at Guardians, and I was like,
I was gonna say, it's just like, I was looking at kitchenware. He's like, did you see Guardians?
No, I was looking at Guardians stuff, and he was like, did you see the movie yet? And I was like, yeah, it was great, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, I was at the theater that night. I saw Lucy instead. And I couldn't even hide my, like, I just said, boy, you made a big mistake.
Bow, bow, a bow, a bow, 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 a bow, a bow, 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 a bow, a bow, bow, a bow, a bow.
Welcome to Bracket, the only show where we take a bunch of shit and base it off against another bunch of shit to see what the best shit really is. I'm your host, Cullen Jennings, and up first we have John Abbott.
I am your gamer fuel for today.
Don't forget about Jesse Knowles.
This is the worst day of my life.
And Greg L. Mercer.
Eat this bag of Doritos right now to get more experience points to my heart all weekend.
And a special guest from Press A to Listen, we have Steve Sickmen.
Hey, I ruined the intro because I was taking my shirt off.
That's true.
It's a true story.
Now it's a video game podcast.
Yeah.
What have you guys been playing this past week? You guys play anything good?
That is the side of video game, but what'd you guys play this week?
We're just totally busted.
Hey, shut up. That's what we say on our podcast, all right?
All right. So this week, since we've got some video game stuff going on, we're going to have the best video game villains bracket. I'll jump right into round 1. We have Bowser versus Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde from Pac-Man. We have, in Group B, we have Diablo versus Andrew Ryan. In Group C, we have GLaDOS versus Pyramid Head. In Group D, we have Sephiroth versus Z-shaped Tetris block. In Group E, we have Dr. Robotnik versus Tom Nook. In Group F, we have M. Bison versus Sinistar. Group G, we have Ganondorf versus Revolver Ocelot. And Group H, we have Kefka versus Ridley. All right, Group A, Bowser versus Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde from Pac-Man Ghost.
This is going to be a controversial opinion. Love Bowser, think he's great. Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde vote.
It's too bad you're the only vote for them.
Why did I come on this show? What's the hell?
I think Bowser is the best video game dad, and I'm going to vote for Bowser.
It's
Easy.
good that that's what this bracket is.
I
That's,
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say best, but
he's certainly a video game.
He does
dad.
have a shit ton of kids.
He's the best
Buddy.
at reproducing?
Yeah, I was going to say he's had more kids than anybody on this.
I think I'm pretty sure they retconned that, guys, and all those kids are now the like Koopa cousins.
I'm sorry, did you play Mario Kart 8? They're all there.
They're all
they're all
Koopa kids.
cousins?
They're there, but I'm pretty sure that even like Miyamoto came out and said that they're like Koopa cousins now.
No.
Well, that's
Bowser has a family? Who raised Bowser? I'm really
nobody did. That's why he
confused.
turned out the way he did.
Uh,
I'm a Bowser vote.
Do you think Bowser didn't have a father figure, and that's why he's just like trying to be the best dad he knows? Like, I'm gonna prove I'm the best dad. I didn't need a dad.
What about Bowser Jr.? That's gotta be his kid, right?
That's
Yes,
direct.
yes.
Junior?
yes,
Come
Bowser
on.
Bowser Jr. is not included in that. Bowser Jr.
then-
is his
So then,
kid.
where's the mom? Did they? Was there like a?
Yeah, that's the question.
Princess Toadstool.
No, come on.
Yeah, I'm tricking it up now.
Oh.
I don't like this at
Tricking it
all.
up.
This is,
I don't-
I'm voting for Bowser. Can we move on?
Sure, we like Bowser. I get it. Let me explain. Is there a more like terrifying, like hunter becomes the hunted moment than when you're like in Pac-Man and there are 3 ghosts closing in on you, and you eat that power pellet, and then all of a sudden you are stepping on their throats? Like,
Yes,
that is
yes,
a
there is.
beautiful moment.
There is actually. It's the moment where you pick up Bowser by the tail and you swing him into a big floating spike ball and you say, "So long, Big Bowser," and he gets back up and he chases you again. And you're like, "Oh no, I thought I won." That's better.
All right.
I don't.
I'm still a Bowser vote.
John
You're not on
vote.
Bowser. You're not changing that.
Yeah, I'm a Bowser as well, and I don't have any good reasons to give for it.
All right. Bowser moves on 4-1. Up next, we have Diablo versus Andrew Ryan.
Ooh, this could be a doozy.
The thing about voting Andrew Ryan is that to me it sort of feels tacky at this point because it's one of those villains where like people keep tugging on it like it's, oh man, look at this great villain, villain. Like,
real quick, does anybody want to tell who Andrew Ryan is?
well, he's the villain. Well, he's a villain from BioShock. He's really charismatic more than anything. I think that's his best trait.
Well, he's like hardcore libertarian, and he's literally Ayn Rand, and he's literally a fedora wearer. But also the other thing to note, and this is something I actually just found out, one of these two characters is literally the fucking devil. So.
Oh,
and
man.
I'm not gonna care about any kind of spoiler thing because BioShock is so old by now.
They just announced today it's going to be on iPhones.
That is.
so.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I think that's the stupidest shit in the world. But Andrew Ryan, like, he's a villain in that he messes with your mind, and like, he's really good at it. Up until you actually have to fight him, and it's just one of the shittiest parts of that game.
But Andrew Ryan isn't even. Yes, he's a villain in that game. In that, like, but he's not even. Like, Atlas is really the charismatic character who turns out to be a villain. Andrew Ryan is barely like he's not an active participant in that story or game at all. Like, you're there seeing the aftermath of Andrew Ryan. So like, it's kind of interesting because like he was at one point a villain, but like, you as the player, like, he's not really your villain. He's not really the villain to the main character of that story. Like, Atlas is like the villain.
I hope everyone played BioShock.
I don't.
Listening to this.
No, I think,
that game came out like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
If you haven't played it yet, you definitely
it's coming to your iOS devices soon. So get excited.
Someone explain Diablo because I'm not a fan of Diablo.
It's
games.
the devil.
Yeah, have you heard of the devil, Jesse?
I mean, I get that, but like, what makes the devil like in this incarnation?
A big part of it is that he's the devil.
Well, no. It's not a
only
he.
part
Remember,
of
it can be whoever's body it possesses. Because at the end of Diablo 3, turns into a full-blown, like, super hot chick devil. And
I don't remember that, but all right. I'm not doubting that it
happened. That's a huge
happened.
plot point in Diablo 3 that Diablo possesses this girl
Diablo
that's like.
I remember the girl. I remember her getting possessed. I guess I don't remember her.
Diablo climbs up to hell and has like Diablo.
Well, he's in like the final act takes place in heaven, right?
Yeah. They're bringing down Sanctuary. Yeah.
StarCraft is wild.
I'm easily a Diablo vote.
As am I.
I'm an Andrew Ryan vote.
That's fine.
I am also an Andrew Ryan vote.
Oh man.
John?
Sexy hot lady Diablo.
He's
the devil. I don't think it needs to be like, oh, it's a sexy lady. It's the fucking devil.
Why can't the devil be sexy? Why are you against this?
How boring is the devil?
Normally I'd agree, but Diablo the devil is.
He's got 3 games to Andrew Ryan's like half of one because he's so funny.
I will be honest. I'm leaning Andrew Ryan.
Oh, that's so disgusting. I just can't even. The Diablo who was completely destroyed at the second one, who had one little sliver of hope of being alive, and they resurrected his dumb ass, and he brought hell on heaven.
I'll tell you this, between the two, I would rather hang out with Diablo, so I can understand voting for Andrew
Which
Ryan.
Diablo? Like hot, sexy lady Diablo?
I don't care. They're all, I worship Satan. That's fine.
Oh, that makes sense.
Whereas Andrew Ryan, like, I don't want to be around that guy for 10 minutes.
I don't know. I play a game of golf with him.
There's a lot more challenge fighting Diablo and having fun.
My decision is Diablo.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Diablo knocks out Andrew Ryan 3-2.
Whatever.
And next we have GLaDOS versus Pyramid Head.
It's gotta be GLaDOS.
It's
GLaDOS.
GLaDOS.
Oh my God, Jesse!
You're gonna have to sway me really hard on this one, guys, because I love Silent Hill. I especially
We will
love
just
Silent Hill
outvote
2.
you.
GLaDOS is as complex as people wish Andrew Ryan was.
Yes.
That's true. That much is true. However, Pyramid Head gave me an actual physical panic attack. So,
Yeah, but
and I
okay.
rarely get those. Like,
But here's the thing. Pyramid Head only works in the initial context it was introduced in.
right.
Like
no, every other
in
game
Silent
outside
Hill
of
2, Pyramid Head makes sense and is a threatening like presence that carries a lot of weight. And they have just destroyed all
They
of that.
totally have. I
They
agree.
toed out Pyramid Head whenever they get the chance, and it's lost all of what it used to carry.
He's
Yep.
like turned into a mascot character. Like he could show up in a Konami kart racer or something.
He's shown up
Yeah.
in an Olympic game, I think.
Let's see.
Track and
Wow.
field or something.
Now, that's kind of not necessarily the most fair thing to say, because GLaDOS is in that sequel to the Poker Night game.
Sure,
so
but
it goes both ways.
all right, fine.
And she's pretty awful in that.
But GLaDOS
I've-
is just the best, you guys.
I don't really like Silent Hill games and I never really played them. So explain to me why this guy is so terrifying.
So
I know what
Pyramid
he
Head-
looks like, and I
the
know he
original-
carries
the
big-
original context of Pyramid Head is less that he's terrifying initially, but more what he
The big
represents.
camel.
Yeah, I'll make this brief. You play as James Sunderland. Pyramid Head represents a repressed sense of guilt for something that you don't realize you've done, and he's sort of like a punishing figure. Basically, he's James. He's like a manifestation of like James's guilt, basically.
He's
Oh,
the worst
that's why
dad
his head is a
available.
pyramid.
He's the worst dad.
It's
Right.
yes, that is exactly why his head's a pyramid. No, every time that when he shows up first, like he's just kind of briefly in the background, just kind of watching you, and you can't get near him because there's something in the way. And every other time he shows up, like you can, if you try to fight him, it takes up almost everything you've got, just to fight him. You have to basically run away. He's just a really intimidating figure, so much that you can even get his weapon in Silent Hill 2, and if you're in a dark area, you can drag it along the ground, and enemies will be afraid of you.
Yeah, I'm a GLaDOS vote.
I'm glad
Yep,
vote.
4-1 then.
Guys, come on.
I was going to say,
Ah.
so I now have a better understanding, and I think he sounds like a pretty cool guy.
He's
GLaDOS.
great.
Yeah,
But
it's
GLaDOS, yeah.
Gotta be GLaDOS.
I'm not against GLaDOS at all, and I'm okay if GLaDOS wins. But
But
I
it
got,
did. GLaDOS won.
I know, but I gotta vote Silent
All right,
Pyramid
so
Head.
GLaDOS knocks out Pyramid Head 4-1. Up next, we have Sephiroth versus the Z-shaped Tetris block.
We have a lot of fun here on Bracket. We tend to we have gained the title of Darling Killers, and I think I'm sorry, 14-year-old Greg, but Z-shaped Tetris block is the clear winner here.
You'll always get a Z-shaped Tetris block at the absolute worst time.
Yeah, there's no.
So when you need the line, you just need the line so you can get that whole area out there. But you get a Z, you get like 4 Z's in a row.
I'm gonna poop on your parade a little bit. I'm gonna vote Sephiroth.
Oh, that's fine.
Wow, I was gonna feel bad. It was like I kind of want to. I personally want to vote Sephiroth just because Final Fantasy is like my big weakness. So I.
See,
So, real
my-
quick, where do you guys buy your manga?
Oh, wow.
You of all people should know that is not at all what this is
I
about.
know. I'm being mean. There's a lot to like about Sephiroth. Sephiroth is cool and interesting. They do a lot of important
he's-
stuff with Sephiroth.
Yeah, no, he's nowhere near like one of my favorite villains. But as someone who doesn't actively play Tetris, for me, and someone who actively still loves pretty much every single Final Fantasy game except for 8 because it's garbage, I'm gonna vote Sephiroth.
I'm not really crazy about Sephiroth or Final Fantasy VII that much. I think we've gotten to this weird point where like it's good that people smartened up and we're like, shut up, and we're like, I'm not gonna Sephiroth's not cool anymore, and they kind of got over their obsession with that character. I think that was healthy, but I think it's swung way too far in the other direction, and now people have just discounted why there was any appeal to that at all in the first place.
Sephiroth,
I
look,
agree.
Sephiroth would hang out with Absol from Pokemon and watch Death Note. All
You're not
afternoon.
wrong. You're not wrong.
And,
Yeah, you're not wrong.
and that is why I'm old as fuck. So I'm a Z-shaped Tetris block, even though I love.
I don't think I can count the Z-shaped block as a villain. I understand where you guys are coming from. It's a very frustrating to block to get it sometimes, but it's also like it's a tool just like all the other ones. Like there are moments when you need the Z-shaped one too.
be
No,
fair,
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there's any moment where the Z-shaped block is the best one you can get.
Also, John, you just said that Z-shaped block is just another tool.
It is a
but
tool.
Sephiroth was a tool.
He's also a
Sure.
tool. It's true.
He was a tool the whole game.
At one point, you, the player, are a tool for liking Sephiroth. So
Right, he's got you there.
That's kind of true.
It's down to you, Steve.
So I consider myself a Tetris connoisseur, and I'm pretty good at that game. Therefore, that Z shape is nothing but a chump to me.
No!
Also, when I think Sephiroth, I think Final Fantasy VII, obviously, but the Kingdom Hearts games, those Sephiroth battles were unbelievably difficult, and
That's true.
I put so much time into trying to beat that asshole in 2, to where he's going to win. Sephiroth.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Z-Shapes ain't nothing but a punk, right?
he is not getting past GLaDOS. That much I can
Oh.
Yeah,
promise.
yeah.
Oh,
We're sending anyone from that round to the slaughterhouse anyway.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So Sephiroth knocks out Z-shaped Tetris block 3-2. Up next, we have Dr. Robotnik versus Tom Nook.
I don't know why we put Tom Nook in.
Because he's
Doctor,
a straight up criminal.
Yeah,
He's
because he's
not.
fucking horrible.
As
He's
someone
not.
who actively loves Animal Crossing to the point where I teared up when I turned on New Leaf for the first time. Without Tom Nook, there's nothing. What would you do in that game?
You would hang out with your cool animal pals in an anarchist collective where you don't have to submit to capitalism.
I would get tired of it in a week tops.
And like everyone else did in the world,
I
even
think
when they got the house from him.
I think that Tom Nook stuff was a really funny joke when it started, but I think to actually think he is a villain is dumb. Because, yes, you owe him money because he gives you a house and he tells you, there's no time limits. It's the most relaxed thing in the world. Pay me back whenever you want.
But you can't add anything in that house till you're done.
But what you're gonna.
And then he's got you for another year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a Ponzi scheme, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you see him as a generous person, then I do not think we should get a house together.
I would not go. Hey, if you're telling me that someone out there in the world right now will give me a house and tell me I can pay it whenever I want, no interest, yes, that person is a goddamn saint.
But you are continuously kept in debt. If there were credit scores in Animal Crossing, you would not be able to get above 400.
Only if you want to expand your house. Only if you want to expand your house.
Which is all you do.
At some point, though, this is a dumb
We
argument.
are arguing. We are literally arguing if Tom Nook is going to beat Dr. Robotnik, and I think you're
that's
a
fair.
lunatic.
I have to be a Robotnik vote.
I also think it's a little unfair that we're still calling him Dr. Robotnik. Like, we have to let go of that. He's been Eggman for 10 years now.
Yes, Eggman is his nickname. Dr. Ivo Robotnik is his name. I mean,
He's always
it is what it is.
He's been Eggman in Japan from the very beginning. Like, it's... to
Whatever.
hold on to he should be Dr. Robotnik is silly at this point.
I think he's Dr. Robotnik to me personally, but I'm also not so super in love with Sonic like most of my friends are. So
You can say what you want to say, man. I'm right here.
hey, no,
You can
guys
say
love
whatever
Sonic.
you can say whatever you need to
You
say to
guys
me.
love Sonic, and I get that. But
It's really
I'm
hard. It's hard to like Sonic, man.
I'm locking it. I
It is
like
now.
Tom Nook
Ugh.
as the villain. I like Tom Nook as a villain completely because I believe that he is a villain, but he's up against Dr. Robotnik, so I'm
Dr.
a doctor.
Robotnik had a game called Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Right.
So
Don't say
Those
that
beans,
on air.
those beans were real mean.
Like his testicles.
There were no
Yes.
Z-shapes in that game.
Look, I'm a Robotnik vote. He's a feminist. I'm a Robotnik vote.
Steve, where are you voting?
It's a Robotnik vote, but Tom Nook is a villain and a criminal, and that should be stated.
I'm an
Why?
Eggman.
I mean, you could just sleep on the ground outside. Why?
Yeah, and I could take all that fruit and sell it and buy my own shit instead of giving it fucking to Tom Nook.
It's true.
Wait, we can cuss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's about Tom Nook, yeah.
All right. Like, shit. I was like, I just dropped an F-bomb. Hope that's cool.
It is. I'm an Eggman vote.
Old John, Sonic purist over here.
All right.
Look. I like Robotic's a way better name, but he's been Eggman for so long. It's time to let it go.
Dr. Robotnik, the Eggman, beats out Tom Nook 4-1. All right, we've got M. Bison versus Sinistar.
Oh, man.
I don't care about Street Fighter, and I think Sinistar is a genuinely frightening presence from an 8-bit arcade game. I'm Sinistar.
I think it's interesting because Sinistar hungers.
He hungers.
I played so much Sinistar, I think it was at MagFest and
Did you ever beat it? Did you ever beat Sinistar?
Hell no!
Yeah, I've never beaten Sinistar.
Sinistar fucking rocked me. At MagFest, I played Sinistar over and over and over and over at one point, to the point where somebody was like, "Can I play that?"
And you
yes,
kicked
I'm a
him. It was
dick for
mean.
that,
It was
but
weird.
You know what? Whatever.
As someone who's actually trying to get into the Street Fighter series, sort of, really, really late in the whole thing, I still can't look at M. Bison and not think this is one really goofy villain. I don't have any feelings towards Sinistar, though.
M. Bison's kind of wild.
Beware, he lives.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you not
Does
heard?
lives.
Yeah.
Jesse, when we're done with this, you need to just go to YouTube and listen to sound bites.
Oh,
of
I've
Oh,
heard
it's so
Sinistar.
good.
He's
I've heard
really
of
good
Sinistar.
at two things: living and hungering.
He does hunger a
no,
lot. Yeah.
I have heard Sinistar for sure. I don't know, Psychic General, dude. M. Bison's such a strange name.
M. Bison's pretty wild. I mean, also he's from Street Fighter, so all characters get weird at some point.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
at some point, like wasn't he like in Cammy's body? Like there was
Well,
like
no, yeah, he has a
he
bunch
got,
of
like-
Cammy clones in case his body is destroyed. He'll put his soul or something into one of
That
Cammy's
sounds
clones.
practical.
Cammy as a clone.
reasonable.
Something like that. I don't
I
know.
hate
Street Fighter's
everything
fucking
you're
wild.
I hate everything you're saying. Sinistar's my vote.
Right.
Uh,
Lock me in as a Sinistar vote as well.
Yeah, me too.
I've never been a Street Fighter fan, so.
I like Street Fighter. I just don't care when I'm going up against something that only hungers.
Right.
Yeah.
I hate to see M. Bison go, but it doesn't really matter at this point, so I'll vote Sinistar.
Is that a sweep?
Uh-oh. Sinistar with a
Sinistar sweep.
with a first round sweep, everybody, in FRS. 5-0, knocking out M. Bison. G, we have Ganondorf versus Revolver Ocelot.
Okay.
All right.
Make the arguments.
I'm gonna
Take your gloves off, because here we go.
Revolver Ocelot's better.
Ganon's the best villain that's ever been created. in a video game.
No! I'm also going to be a Ganon vote.
Cullen, you don't even like Zelda games.
No, that's not true. I just don't really care for them that much. But I like playing against Ganondorf. And I like Smash.
I'm a hard Revolver Ocelot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
The only first of all, Steve, you said Ganon, and we're specifically talking Ganondorf, which is
Well,
it's a big difference.
Related to
Is it, though?
Stevendorf.
is it?
Yes, it's a difference. Ganon is a sweet-ass giant pig monster. Ganondorf is a guy that he possesses and he has his own motivations. There's all kinds of things.
Still like that better.
I think the only interesting incarnation of Ganondorf is the Wind Waker one,
I agree.
That's great.
and I love that he's an amazing villain in that game. The motivation he's really good in that game. I love Wind Waker.
Is perfection.
And I love Ganondorf in that game. But Revolver Ocelot, probably I think he's probably maybe the most complex character in all of Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
And that's saying something, considering how bizarre and twisted up its own butt people in that game get.
I mean, this is a character that
You can't see me right now, but I'm shaking my head at all of you.
this is a character that they managed to basically say, hey, this guy had an arm transplant, and the owner of the original arm is now possessing this guy.
But that
No,
turns
wait,
out to not
actually-
even be. That turns out to
Yeah,
not be
exactly.
real.
But I
And then
saw
they
Winter
say-
Soldier. I get it.
And then they say, now, he didn't understand what's just going on in his head. Revolver Ocelot is really, really cool because you get to see him
I think
at
you're
pretty much
missing out.
every point in his life.
you're missing out on the most interesting part of that character, and that's when we get to see him in the past, and you see
Exactly.
the reveal. The reveal of him in Metal Gear Solid 3 is so great because you get to see how he becomes the antagonist you used to play against by your own actions in the past. Like
Hey, I'm just going to interrupt you guys because you guys are all voting that, and me and Steve are voting the other one, so I don't know why you're arguing.
we just wanted to say our piece. technically, Jesse
hasn't
said,
voted.
No, just
yeah.
let's move on.
It's
all
2
right?
and 2. I've been waiting so I can dramatically kill everyone's darling and vote Revolver Ocelot.
Yeah.
What's the darling?
Ganondorf.
Okay.
Everyone loves Zelda games. I think they're like the most beloved franchise, aren't they?
Revolver Ocelot beats out Ganondorf 3-2. Last round in round 1, we have Kefka versus Ridley.
So when this listen, Final Fantasy VI is one of my favorite games ever. It's Cullen, it's your favorite game ever, isn't it?
It is my favorite game ever.
When Kefka's the villain that comes to mind when we came up with this list. I kind of get a little irritated sometimes when people are like, "You should play Final Fantasy VI because Kefka's the best villain ever." But like, I think that game has way better things to offer than Kefka.
But we're not talking about those things.
I know we aren't. Kefka is a really, really great villain. Ridley, oh man, I love Ridley too. I love Metroid so much.
Do you want us to come back to you, Jesse?
Yeah, let's come back to me.
Which villain on this list has successfully won? A couple of them, right?
I mean,
Ridley has successfully died a lot of times, that's for sure.
Successfully died. Kefka destroyed the world.
I mean, I could get into how that whole thematically how Kefka fits in with that game, and fucking, I'll write an essay for you sometime. But everyone vote. Everyone vote.
Oh gosh. Oh man, I don't know. Come back.
John?
Ridley.
So-
Go ahead, Joe.
I don't have any strong tie to Kefka, but
So that's where I'm at. But I feel like I know Kefka's a better villain.
yeah, if we have Sephiroth moving on, I think Kefka has to move on. But also, like, people want Ridley in Smash Brothers, and I love Smash Brothers, and I don't really agree with a lot of people who want Ridley in. And my main thing is, like, Ridley in those games has never struck me as, like, a villain. I understand, like, in the canon of the game, Ridley is, like, a thing that Ridley thinks and talks and orders around space pirates, but you never see that. In the game, it's just a big flying dinosaur that roars at you. Like, if you didn't know any better, if you didn't have to read things, you would just think it's a big animal that doesn't think or feel. It just, like...
That makes sense.
So I'm a Kefka vote.
Yeah, I am too. Just because I have not played much Metroid in my life, and I'm playing Final Fantasy VI for the first time right now.
Okay.
And Kefka, sure, I'm fine.
I should say something about Ridley. John's completely right. One more thing to add is that Ridley's. I mean, is he in every single Metroid game? He's not in 2.
I don't know.
Yeah. Ridley's in most Metroid games. And the Ridley fights, like, they aren't intimidating. He is, like, the most prominent villain. But it's less that when he shows up, it's not like, it's oh no, Ridley, the villain's here. It's more like, yeah, here's the Ridley fight. Like, it's a moment that you've been waiting for in every Metroid game.
Yeah, but to take down Kefka was much.
Cullen, I'm saying my piece. You know who I'm gonna vote.
Right.
Ridley's.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a Kefka vote.
Okay.
All right. So, are we all in at Kefka?
You guys have made a good case for Kefka, so
I can go.
Full
Oh
Kefka?
Jesus Christ!
Yep, that's what it
Let's
looks
give me a
like.
Kefka and Revolver Ocelot, and I'm going to lose my mind.
All right, Kefka moves on with
Jesus.
5-0 sweep, first round. All right, so then we're moving on to the second round, guys. We have Bowser versus Diablo, GLaDOS versus Sephiroth, Dr. Robotnik versus Sinistar, and Revolver Ocelot versus Kefka. Okay, Bowser versus Diablo.
fuck Diablo and his sexy female naked form.
Yeah.
And
One of these characters is the devil, and the other one is Diablo.
They both breathe fire. We know that.
Yeah.
but one's a dinosaur.
He's
Come
more
on.
like a turtle.
He's a
He's a weird dinosaur turtle.
They are both dads.
He's a dino.
They are both
Yeah.
dads. Yeah.
But Diablo also, I guess, would be a mother then at some point.
Yep.
Does Does Diablo have a Diablo Jr.? No, I don't think so.
No, there it is. Well, then this decision's made.
I'm a Bowser vote.
I'm a Bowser vote.
Bowser can come back as a skeleton. You drop him into lava, and he can come back as a skeleton.
Diablo comes back from hell.
Right.
Bowser has boats that fly. Come on.
He does.
Just
Sure.
flying boats.
I mean, they each have kingdoms. Is anyone voting Diablo?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right, Bowser.
It
knocks
feels
it out.
weird because I don't necessarily think I'd agree with Bowser getting to the semifinals, but I
Easily did. Bowser defeats Diablo 5-0. We have GLaDOS versus Sephiroth.
Just move to the next round.
yeah.
Sorry, Sephiroth. I'm going to have to vote GLaDOS.
Look, Sephiroth got way farther than we all thought he would. At
That's
this
Sure.
true, yeah.
We should have killed him in the first round.
I don't know if I agree
Yeah,
with that.
it's GLaDOS.
I'm a GLaDOS vote.
GLaDOS.
Yeah,
It's
that's going to
gotta
be
be.
also a GLaDOS sweep. 5-0, knocking out Sephiroth.
The funny
All
thing
right.
to me is that we haven't really talked about GLaDOS at all yet. It's
We're
just
gonna-
We'll
gonna
get
have-
there. We'll
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah, we'll talk about GLaDOS in the finals.
All right. Dr. Robotnik versus Sinistar.
Robotnik.
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah.
Eggman.
Yeah.
It's Eggman.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Eggman.
Yeah, it kind
Really?
of is.
I did not.
He's
expect
got the
that.
master plan.
I did not expect that at all.
Well,
Captures all those-
okay, Sinistar is
captures
cool
those-
and scary and great, but also Sinistar is kind of a joke.
I'm a Sinistar vote.
I'm also a Sinistar vote.
Well,
Oh.
3-2.
I know Robotnik wins, but
I don't know. I just don't think he.
See, I like Eggman more than Sonic.
Eggman's been such a joke for the last billion of years. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Eggman moves on 3-2, knocking out Sinistar. We have Revolver Ocelot versus Kefka.
Revolver Ocelot.
Kefka.
I'm voting Kefka because fuck Revolver Ocelot for knocking out Ganondorf.
Revolver
I'm
Ocelot.
still bitter about
I'm
that.
going
yeah.
Revolver.
By the way.
Ocelot.
Ocelot.
Jesus Christ! Don't leave this up to me.
Fine.
Ocelot yells out like a panther, like an ocelot. I guess.
Yeah.
He calls out like an ocelot to summon his homies.
He does.
Kefka absorbed magic and made himself a god.
Look, here's the thing, Cullen. I have to admit, Kefka's one big thing going for him is that he won.
Yeah.
I mean, he's crazy too, but yeah.
Yeah.
But like, he does a lot of awful things. Like,
Kefka looks stupid.
Whoa.
that's the point. That's kind of the point. You don't expect him to be the villain, and then he becomes
That's
the villain.
dumb.
To be fair, Revolver Ocelot looks kind of dumb.
Yeah,
all
I
the
was going
time,
to say,
too.
like, who the fuck are you talking
That's
to?
That's
so
the best
these-
argument so far.
Also,
these-
dumb name.
I
So-
think the only fair way to decide this is
It's a
to
coin
have
toss?
the two characters in a revolver shootout in the 70s. Whoever wins that is the winner.
All right. I'm gonna get real with you guys here for a
Revolver
second. 'Cause
Ocelot was born on a battlefield.
he was.
and his dad was a ghost, and
His mom.
his mom had a snake
Carved him
tattoo
out.
that came to
Oh,
life
yeah.
and crawled off of her body.
Didn't she carve him
Video
out?
games
or
are
something?
wild
No,
as hell.
No, his mom was a dog, and she had sex with the devil. Like,
Revolver
No, okay.
Ocelot was already 3 years old when he was born.
Guys, so Kefka is a great villain, less because he's crazy and he won, and more because of what he...
Why did we
what he-
leave this up to Jesse?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want this. Listen,
just let him,
listen.
Well,
just
give
let
me-
him
yeah,
know,
let him
because if he
talk.
Let me
doesn't,
make my argument. Kefka is a great villain because of what he represents in the game, etc., etc. Games about loss and finding reason to live, all that point, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. Kefka's a great villain. He is. I don't think he's the best video game villain.
Okay. But is he
Um,
better than Revolver Ocelot? That's all you need to know.
I don't think he is. Because Revolver listen, I don't want to see Kefka go out this early. But Revolver Ocelot is one of the best things Metal Gear Solid has going for it. And Metal Gear Solid has a lot of good things going for it.
Have you
It has a lot of
seen-
silly things going for it too,
Have you
but
seen Kefka's final form?
Yeah.
yes, I have.
Look at
It's-
that guy.
It's gorgeous.
Come on.
It is gorgeous. But
Come
there's
on.
there's something really, really great about that final showdown with Ocelot.
All right.
I
let me see if I can do a quick summary here. I think Kefka maybe is the more threatening villain of these two.
Yeah.
But I think Ocelot is a much more like interesting and developed and
Yes.
and crazy character.
Kefka is more of a
How about
representation,
crazy? But
thematic
yeah.
idea. Ocelot is a fully fleshed character who has motives, who you can't 100%
Who had
define.
multiple games?
Who you can't even define as
Right,
evil.
right.
But
Yeah,
he's the villain.
Klefka is at a bit of a disadvantage because Ocelot, if you just take Ocelot from the first game he appears in, then I think Kefka wins. But
Oh, no doubt.
they've had so many other games to build upon who Ocelot is, and that's kind of
He wasn't even. Let's just say he wasn't a good character until 3. After 3,
well.
Uh,
I wouldn't go that.
I mean,
far,
he was barely a character in 2 because in 2 we thought he was possessed by your dead brother. So, fucking
Exactly
Metal
my
Gear's
point.
so weird.
Video games
Exactly
pretty
my
weird,
point.
dude.
weird.
Video games aren't weird. Metal Gear is weird.
Yeah.
Metal Gear is pretty weird.
Metal Gear's hilarious.
I'm locking it in, Jesse.
It's Ocelot.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All
Kevin.
right.
And
Mad at
and I-
Jesse, Revolver Ocelot knocks out Kefka 3-2.
Listen.
All right.
Mm.
Nope, nothing. We don't need it.
What a weird
Round's gone, man.
semifinals.
Round's gone. We're in the semifinals now. We have
Yeah, I
Bowser
think I know
versus-
how this is gonna end, but
Yeah, I have a Bowser versus GLaDOS versus Dr. Robotnik and Revolver Ocelot. Bowser versus GLaDOS.
Does anyone want to vote Bowser?
No.
Yes.
GLaDOS.
Like I said,
I'm
we'll
a
talk
Bowser
about
vote.
GLaDOS in the finals.
I'm a Bowser vote.
Ooh, wow.
really,
I
Fine.
love GLaDOS, but I just think for someone that's come, GLaDOS has been there. We got it. We get it. We got the cake. Whatever. We didn't get the cake. Cake was a lie. I get it. But we have Bowser. We have Bowser, the mortal enemy of video games. Without Bowser,
that's
we
not even the
wouldn't have any
case
of this.
anymore. There have been so many games now that make Bowser like team up with the heroes. Like,
Yeah, he's basically a pal.
yeah, he's
do not.
he's hard. Bowser is hardly framed as a threat anymore.
Yeah, like
No, look. I know all you guys are just ape shit crazy over GLaDOS, but I'm just saying Bowser is just the shit. Bowser's the shit.
because I feel like
really like Bowser.
Portal as a game is about GLaDOS. Like
Yeah,
she
Sure,
is
I
the
get
villain,
that.
but that game is about her as well. So
Bowser's got games too.
yeah, you do go in Bowser's stomach. at
Bowser
one point.
also has a family to support, so
Well, he has one deadbeat kid.
yeah. We established that he doesn't have like 17. He only has one. So
So,
fuck
Cullen,
Bowser.
you're voting Bowser. Steve?
yeah.
GLaDOS.
Okay. Jesse, John, GLaDOS?
GLaDOS.
It's
I like
gotta
Bowser.
be.
Don't get me wrong, but he's not better than.
We should have never put a robot lady on this. Greg was full in.
Well, no. If
Well,
it's GLaDOS, then it's GLaDOS. Like even I
GLaDOS-
have to concede that.
GLaDOS knocks out Bowser 4-1. Up next, we have Dr. Robotnik versus Revolver Ocelot.
I'm sorry, I'm voting Ocelot. It's just-
I'm an Ocelot vote.
yeah.
I'm not. I'm bitter.
losing-
I'm a
after
Robotnik
after
vote.
losing Kefka Ocelot, I'm not making Ocelot lose to Robotnik.
I'm voting Robotnik, I should say, as well.
Jesse, yeah. Jesse just said that he hates feminism
Yep.
by
I hate
by
feminism.
shooting down Dr. Robotnik again.
Yeah.
All right, so Revolver Ocelot, who's dumb, moves on to the next round, knocking out Robotnik.
Guys, this bronze match is the best. I just have to say
All
that.
right,
It's-
next match. Bowser
Sega versus
versus Dr.
Nintendo.
Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik does what Bows don't.
Bowser vote.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna come with you, Cullen. I'm a Bowser vote. I think it's weird because both of these are villains that like
Become pals.
They
They're the
defined a
villains.
generation. Yeah, like they defined a generation. These two.
I'm going Robotnik because I like that they were designing him and they said, what if we gave a circle legs? And you go, no, that's Pac-Man. What if we give him a mustache? All right, good.
The funny thing about Robotnik to me is, well, like between these two is that the higher definition you go with Bowser's design, he just gets more and more like the cartoonish and like shiny and colorful.
Badass.
And
Yeah.
if you keep upping Robotnik's design, it just gets gross.
Yeah.
True.
I'm a hard Bowser.
I'm Bowser too.
Yeah, gotta go Bowser.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
I'm
Jesse,
gonna
you
vote-
want to go
I'm
half
gonna
season on?
vote.
Let's go into the toilet water, Jesse.
I No, actually, I'm going to vote Bowser. Sorry.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
All right. So
Eggman's little his little egg carrier that he flies around in already is like half a toilet anyway. He just needs the the tank
To be
on the
fair,
back
Bowser
of it.
has one of those too. He's got that egg.
That's true. He's got that clown car.
Yeah.
Cloudcopter. So it looks like Bowser wins third place at 4-1, beating out Robotnik. Dr. Robotnik, Eggman, however you want to call him, is Dirty Toilet Water. So for the final, we have GLaDOS versus Revolver Ocelot.
Gosh, I'm real torn on this.
I didn't see
Yeah.
this going this way at all.
When
I
Let's
looked
talk
at
about GLaDOS because I've already talked about Ocelot a lot. And
I will talk about GLaDOS.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I sure do like GLaDOS a bunch. Portal is maybe my favorite video game. I think that entire game is a very clever and interesting and smart feminist critique of traditional game design principles that at first does not even tell you that it has a storyline. You load it up and you're in a place and there's a voice talking to you and you're like, oh, this is weird. What kind of puzzle game is this? And as you go along, you keep playing and you keep hearing these interesting and funny things about Android hell, and then they make you murder the companion queue, who's your only friend, and no matter how long you take, they always tell you did it the fastest out of anybody. And it's all these horrifying mental just stabs at you, and then you find a panel that is torn away and you see there have been other people through here and there is a storyline, and then you manage to sneak off the path entirely and find GLaDOS, and she's suspended from the ceiling as this giant robot AI core, and it's fascinating and beautiful, and GLaDOS is terrified but never sounds like it. GLaDOS is just constantly trying to convince you that you're doing the wrong thing in ways that are both hilarious and horrifying.
I was gonna say, she's really good at being condescending,
Yeah.
making you laugh the entire time.
Yeah,
I have a question.
sure.
Who let Jesse write Greg's script for this week?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Yeah.
It's fucking
Who the
robot
fuck let
lady.
Revolver
Fuck you guys.
Ocelot get to the finals?
Revolver Ocelot's amazing. He might be my favorite video game villain. He might be.
I want to poll the audience. Call in next week and see if you know who the fuck
The
Revolver
audience is
Ocelot
wrong. They don't
is.
have any goddamn taste.
Yeah. No, if you're listening to this, know that we have nothing but spite and contempt for you.
GLaDOS vote for me, hands down, not even close.
Yep.
Yep. Suck it, Revolver Ocelot.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that three already?
Look, I love Revolver Ocelot, and it feels crazy to me. It almost feels unfair that GLaDOS has swept this way. We clearly have a personal bias going on in this show.
Sorry.
I didn't vote for her every time, just saying.
But
And I'll remember that.
GLaDOS is, as far as I'm concerned, probably the funniest villain in any video game.
Yeah.
And I also think she managed to be probably at least in the top 5 of interesting in terms of what her story is. And
Right. I kind of got off the trail. The other thing about GLaDOS is that she was a human woman at one point. And
Right.
she was the assistant of the owner and creator of Aperture Industries. And
Yes, she was.
he was supposed to become this robot mind, and then he died and insisted against her will that she become this overseeing robot that has probably murdered all humans inside the building,
But
besides you.
I mean, she, but all that aside, they also managed to make her sympathetic and threatening at the same time.
Yeah.
It's very well done.
And in the second game, she's stripped of all of her power, and I won't say too much in case you haven't played it.
Oh, it's so
But
good.
So well
It's
done.
really good.
Yeah,
You
second
want
one's
to talk
great.
about...
And you
the
become
best
buddy
twist
cops in a
game.
way.
Yeah.
it's they kind of play on the whole Zelda talking fairy Navi. They kind of turn the whole companion in a video game thing on its head with her.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand by my Revolver Ocelot vote earlier in this. I love Revolver Ocelot. I think he deserves to be this far, despite what Cullen says. But I'm a GLaDOS vote for this final.
Wow. I'm good. Okay, here's how I feel about it. I am going to vote Ocelot, but I'm totally okay that GLaDOS won.
Okay, good. Because
All right.
GLaDOS won.
GLaDOS wins the whole bracket 4-1, knocking out Revolver Ocelot. That means he's in second place. You have Bowser in third, and Dr. Robotnik is Dirty Toilet Water.
That's accurate. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, GLaDOS is going to be in Tournament of Champions Volume 2.
And this is
boy.
no,
What
it's
have we
not. See,
done?
you fucking idiot.
Oh boy!
That means GLaDOS won Season 2 Tournament of Champions.
Yup! Oh, baby. Cullen
Alright.
is not able to read the poll this week, so I'll read the poll this week.
What happened to Cullen? Cullen, is there something wrong?
Cullen
He's
doesn't-
blindfolded.
He
Does
doesn't
somebody have a gun
Yeah,
to
I'm
your head?
blindfolded.
Cullen
is illiterate.
Knock twice if they're waterboarding you.
Cullen doesn't have his computer.
Yeah.
Who
So
took it?
he's on his
Did
phone.
the government
right
take it, Cullen?
No, I can't. I'm not at liberty to talk about it.
now. Best Sharks, which we said Hammerhead Shark. Hammerhead has 20% of the vote. Mark Cuban, 20% of the vote. Megalodon, 10%. Saw Shark, 10%. Whale Shark, 10%. The winner, shockingly, with 30%, Goblin Shark. No
Oh!
idea how that happened. Y'all's kind of dumb.
People like the Goblin Shark, but they're wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're not smart or cool like us. So.
Steve, what's
I
your favorite
missed-
shark, man?
I missed the shark episode. The last one I heard was Jackass.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
last
man.
week was sharks. Man.
Oh
We
my
got
god,
wild.
I've missed sharks.
You
What's
gotta
your
go
favorite
back,
shark?
catch up.
Oh well, hearing that list, it's Mark Cuban, hands down. Was it a Hammerhead versus Mark Cuban?
Oh God, I wish it
It
was.
was
I
Hammerhead
think
versus Great
it
White.
came down to Hammerhead and Great White, right?
These guys were all
Great
bitter
White.
that Hitch won, and they're all like, "No, we can't have Mark Cuban go this far."
I voted for Mark Cuban.
And I voted for Hitch. So yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on this week, Steve. If there's anything you got to plug this week, go ahead.
Hey, there's a podcast called Press A to Listen. It's pretty stupid, but I'm on it, and that makes it even dumber. We sit around and talk about video games, primarily Xbox. It's a lot of fun. It's M-rated, so we say mean things about really bad video games. The Press A to Listen team is also doing an Extra Life campaign this year. You can go to j.mp/pressa2heal and donate if you would so desire. You can also join the team. Cullen is part of the team.
Yeah, join
So-
the team, guys. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for joining up. And we're going to. Our team has grown tremendously over the last couple of weeks, and I think we're going to be able to hit our goal. We aimed high at $7,500 at the start of this when there was just 3 dudes doing it, and we have since brought on some really awesome people that want to help us. And if we kind of make a push, I think we can do that. I'm on Twitter at PantlessSteve. I talk about really dumb video games there too.
So if
and
you
the-
like this episode,
And
But
the Redskins when that happens.
But yeah. So yeah, thanks for coming on this week.
Oh, thanks for having me. I only had to bug you guys for forever, but no. I'm kidding.
Hey, you're here.
I'll eventually invite myself onto every podcast on the internet. All right, I just gotta.
for anyone who wants to be on the show, the best way to do it is to be really annoying to Cullen.
Yes,
all the
it's
time.
true. It works.
Yeah.
It totally works.
Asking
just-
anybody else just makes no sense. Come to me, okay? Well, thanks for listening to the episode this week. You can check us out on our website, bracketpodcast.com, on our Facebook at facebook.com/bracketcast, on our Twitter at twitter.com/bracketcast, and our Tumblr, bracketpodcast.tumblr.com. And you can also subscribe to us on any different podcast client you have. So if you have iTunes or Stitcher, be sure to leave us a review there as well. And we're going to go ahead and go to Chick-fil-A this week, Greg.
No,
That's
I don't
true.
think we're doing that.
That's
Oh,
exactly
man,
where
I
we're
had-
going.
I had
I went
Chick-fil-A
to
for
Chick-fil-A.
lunch today. Oh,
I did
so
too.
So
good.
do we.
So
So did
good.
I.
Bunch of fucking Southern fried assholes.
Doing a professional radio show on the internet.